I think we can start now. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, my name is Kaylee Kelly, and I'm a regional sales manager with Greywood Developments in Calgary. So if you folks aren't familiar with Greywood, Greywood is actually a Toronto-based development company. We just launched our Jack project. That's right in the heart of downtown Calgary, and that's been a huge success for us. So, you know, along with being in the GTA, we are also quite in depth in Calgary. We've got 2 projects that are currently selling, 1 project that is completely finished, 2 condo buildings and a townhouse community down there. We're working on our second phase of a community called Fish Creek Exchange. The Theodore, which is in the heart of Kensington, is our second project. And then we do have another site that we're currently in the planning stages, which is in a community of Calgary called Eau Claire. So it's a really beautiful community right along the river. But we'll jump into some more details about the Theodore. So the Theodore really is Calgary's best investment opportunity. We're located in a fantastic neighborhood. It's one of those neighborhoods that I say that people come to as a destination. People come from all over the city to spend an afternoon. This community is known for its community events that it puts on. It puts on, you know, Christmas events. It puts on summer events. It puts on, you know, events throughout the fall where you can come down and kind of tour the streets and take advantage of the coffee shops and restaurants and boutiques that line both the 10th Street High Street and Kensington Roads. So I'll get into a little bit more of location. But to start with, I wanted to share a little bit about Greywood. So if you're not familiar with Greywood, Greywood is a Toronto-based company. Our business is that we're a private investment firm that specializes in the development of real estate. So Greywood has over 30 years, and I think you'll see from this slide, we've got some very high profile, notable buildings. The Ritz-Carlton is one of ours, Peter and Adelaide, Wonder, 250 Lawrence, and then like I said, we just launched Jack, which has been a huge success as well. So Greywood, you know, like I said, they're a private investment firm that specializes in the development of real estate. So, you know, our slogan is, because if a home isn't one of the biggest investments you'll ever make, shouldn't your developer also be? And that's why we're both, and we think that's kind of what's carried us over the last 30 years. And then a little bit about the Theodore. So it's Kensington's landmark address. We're now over 40% sold. The Theodore was also nominated as a 2019 Build Calgary finalist for Best Multifamily Community Concept, which was a huge award. We came out with 3 awards that night, Best Floor Plans, and as I said, we were a finalist for Best Multifamily Communities. So kind of some hard-hitting facts here for you. We're estimated completion of Q4 2022, Q1 2023. We offer a low 5% deposit, which I know is unheard of in the GTA. And in Alberta, you have no land transfer tax, no development charges or interim occupancy charges, super low closing costs. So to give you guys an idea on an actual value, when you do go to close, including your legal fees, you'd be in around the $2,000 range. That's it. So, you know, like I said initially, your output of cash is very low to buy in Alberta. The Theodore, we're a boutique building of 117 units, kind of our mix. We've got everything from a junior 1-bedroom up to a 3-bedroom, and kind of everything in between. 70% of the building is priced under $450,000 and nearly 40% under $400,000. And we actually still have some suites that are available under $300,000 or in the low 300s. So there's some great opportunities there for your clients. This building, where it's located, you get some premium views. So to the east, you look towards the downtown city skyline. To the west, you look towards a beautiful community park. And you also look into a really nice low-rise residential community that's tree-lined with the streets are tree-lined. So you get some fantastic views. We're also offering premium finishes. And honestly, it's downtown Calgary's very best location. You have the advantage of being less than 2 minutes walk to our C train station, which I'll get into that a little bit later, but you've also got a grocery store across the street, and you're in Calgary's very best neighborhood as well. So this is a rendering of what the building will look like. So this is kind of looking right down 10th Street as you're coming into Kensington. So we're right on the gateway into Kensington. You can see we've got some storefront retail that will fully integrate into the community. We've got a beautiful little cafe that we'll be putting in. And we're really wanting to make it like a meeting point or a hub for people to come when they're in the community. We're hoping to have some really great retail to kind of add to the vibrancy of the community. And here you can see a rendering of the interior. So we've gone with some really high-end finishes. You've got 42-inch cabinetry, 9-foot ceilings, Hunter Douglas blinds are all included. You do get a full-size appliance package with anything over our junior one-bedroom suites. Islands are included, plus a natural gas cooktop. So you can see here we've got some really great finishes. You can mix and match your backsplash and your color palette options. So on our website, I can send you guys a link and you can kind of play around with that there too. And then a little bit about Calgary. So I'm sure a lot of you are wondering what's happening in Calgary, what's the market doing? So I wanted to give you kind of a little bit of insight into what's happening in our market, what's happening with our economy. So Calgary is one of those cities, especially our downtown core, that's really attracted investment over the last few years from coast to coast. So our inner city, we've been attracting investors and developers from across Canada. So it's really no surprise that smart people invest in smart places. So Calgary's really been seen as an opportunity for developers to diversify their portfolio. Our land costs are low. Also for companies that are coming to Alberta, our corporation tax is also very low. They just reduced it to 8% as of July 1st. So, you know, we're doing things to boost our economy, to bring these headquarters to Calgary. And we've lately seen some interest from the likes of Google. Amazon has a warehouse here. I know there's a data center that's being built just outside of Calgary that's been attracting Red Bull, like I said, Amazon, Google, Yahoo. So there's those big corporations that are now focusing on Calgary and looking to bring their offices here to take advantage of those low corporate tax rates. So we'll start to see more migration happen. And particularly in Calgary, we see a lot of interprovincial migration as well. So that's something to watch out for. So like Greywood, the large scale developers that we've had looking into downtown that are looking to diversify their portfolio are the likes of Minto, Great Golf, Fram and Slocker, Bosa, Anthem United, and Grosvenor. They've all built within Calgary's inner city and they continue to build here. So what's happening with our labor market? So I moved to Calgary about 10 years ago, and I moved from the West Coast. I moved from Vancouver, and it was interesting because before I moved, everybody said, all you'll hear people talk about is oil and gas and what's happening in the oil market, what's happening in the natural gas market. So our labor market over the last few years has really started to diversify, especially when the price of oil did start to soften in 2015 is really when we started to see those oil companies kind of right-size their companies. So the industry as a whole is now starting to diversify a bit more. Oil and gas is still a very big part of our economy, but we're also starting to see some emerging industries that are, you know, really starting to take off, like the life sciences, financial services, creative industries, tourism. And then our established industries are still continuing to grow, like our agribusiness, transportation, and logistics. And of course, energy is still a huge part of our economy. So with the most recent pipelines being approved, that's also helped to boost our economy and create jobs too. So I'll go through that in a little bit later here. But Calgary really is trending towards renting. We have a very strong rental market here because our prices are so affordable. Like I said, we see a lot of interprovincial migration, and we're also seeing a lot of young people moving to Calgary. Calgary is one of the youngest cities in Canada. I think our average age is about 36 years old. So we do see a lot of those millennials that are coming to Calgary and they want to rent. They don't necessarily want to buy. The stress test has definitely been, you know, a challenge for those first-time homebuyers that are coming into trying to get into the market, right? So our vacancy rates have eased over the last couple of years. We dropped from 3.9 in 2018 to 3.4 in 2019, and those vacancy rates are continuing to go down. So we're seeing a very strong rental market. Our price per square foot, we're starting to get close to about $3 a square foot, which when we were looking at this about this time last year, we were thinking, you know, in the next 2 years from last year, we would probably hit about $3 a square foot, and we're hitting it now. So we're definitely starting to see rents on the rise, which is great for those that are looking for a positive cash flowing property. And then overall for Calgary, if you are looking at the housing market on kind of a national scale, the household income that needs to cover the cost of home ownership in Calgary is one of the lowest in the country. As you can see here, about 40% of people's household incomes goes towards home ownership costs. So, you know, it really is an affordable place to live. It's one of the top 4 cities in the world, mostly because it's an affordable city. We do have a great lifestyle in Calgary. There's lots of beautiful parks. You can get to the mountains within 45 minutes. And also our economy is growing as well. So there are jobs. People have high paying jobs here too, which is one of the big things that bring people to Calgary, I should say. And then, as I mentioned earlier, the government of Alberta is moving these pipelines forward. So the Keystone XL and Trans Mountain Pipeline are both under construction now. The Keystone in particular was approved and started construction in the last couple months. So those have created over 10,000 jobs just to create these pipelines. And they've also seen some big investiture from our government as well as the federal government as well. So a little bit more about Kensington and what the community is, where it is in relation to downtown. So Kensington really is the best inner city community, and it's really no surprise. You have transit, convenience, community, nature. It's super walkable in Kensington, and it's connected, and it's very vibrant. As I mentioned earlier, the community of Kensington, they love to hold events. They love to bring people together, and you know, the business owners in Kensington as well, they really thrive. We've got two big streets in Kensington that are lined with the boutiques. They've got the little coffee shops. They've got, you know, the neat little restaurants and wine bars. So it really is a destination community, and it has it all. So you can see from this chart here, as compared to some of the other inner city communities, we have direct LRT access, and particularly from the Theodore, you're about a 2-minute walk to the LRT, which is our train line. So you're 6 minutes away from downtown. So there, if you're looking at who could potentially be a renter for you, you do have the young professionals. And then you're also less than 15 minutes away from two major post-secondary institutions. So you do have SAIT as well as U of C, which have over 90,000 enrollments between those two post-secondary institutions. And one of the most interesting things is that on campus, they have less than 2,200 housing units. So there's a big pool of people that you could tap into as potential tenants. And then we're 2 to 10 minute walk from the river and community parks. We've got an urban village and grocery that are right across the street, and our walk score is 85 plus. So very walkable. People here love to bike. You can get across the Bow River and into downtown within 10 minutes. So great community to live in. And as I said, you're in one of the most walkable neighborhoods. So 26 meters to a grocery store, you're 30 minutes to a coffee shop, 50 meters from transit, 250 meters to the nearest fitness studio. So you've got some spin studios, yoga studios that are all super close. Riley Park is a beautiful park that's just to the north of our site. And there they've got, you know, playgrounds. They've got a nice big field. It's tree lined. You've also got a wading pool in there for in the summer. They play cricket as well and have yoga workshops and things like that. So it's a really cool spot to go to. And then, as I mentioned, you've got post-secondary institutions within a 15-minute commute. So you've got SAIT that's 1 stop away, University of Calgary that's 3 stops away on the C train there. And combined, you're looking at 90,000 enrollments. And one of the most interesting things about both of these post-secondary institutions is that 90% of the enrollment is Canadian. So we're seeing, you know, interprovincial students rather than having international students here, which is a really interesting fact. And then to jump into the Theodore. So I picked a couple suites that I think really would make fantastic investment opportunities for your clients. This one in particular is a really unique suite. It's what we call a garden home. So it's main floor. It's like a single level townhome. It's got a beautiful big landscape patio on it. It does have its own private entrance. And because it is main floor, it does have nearly 11-foot high ceilings. So with this one, it's a really well laid out 1 bedroom. Plus it's going to feel that much bigger than it actually is because you've got those high ceilings on it. So price wise, you're looking at $291,900 plus GST. Your estimated monthly rent's about $1,600, which calculates into about $3,300 a year surplus. So you've got a really great opportunity with these suites to have an annual cash flow. And then another option that I picked is a 1-bedroom and flex. So this is our D2A. About 643 square feet, looks out towards Hillhurst. So you kind of look over the treetops there, really beautiful view. You can also see towards COP. And as you can tell with this suite, you've also got a nice big balcony on it. So one of the really neat things about our 1-bedroom and flex suites is that the flex is really big enough to be a 2nd bedroom. So you're paying the price of a 1-bedroom and den, but you're getting the opportunity to rent it out as a 2-bedroom and then for resale down the road to sell it as a 2-bedroom. So these ones start from $375,900. You're looking about $1,900 a month. That's what you get for rent for this one, which translates into an annual cash flow of about $3,200. So these two would really be exciting picks if you've got some clients that are looking. Let me know if you do have people looking for other options, and we can go through what we've got available there. But those would be my top 2 picks for people that are looking at investment options. So this is just a little grid on what's happening with rent in Calgary. So kind of as a comparison, you can see here, we've got studios downtown that rent for about $1,450 a month. 1 bedrooms, you're getting close to about $2,000 a month, and 2 bedrooms, you're about $2,600 a month. So that we've taken from some newer buildings in the inner city neighborhood. And then, like I said earlier, we're looking about $3 a square foot. We're kind of hitting that now, but they were projecting that for the next 2 to 3 years. So we're really seeing a strong rental market here. And then here I wanted to give you some numbers on what you could expect as a rental return for a couple different suites. So I went through the A model, which is at $291. You're looking about $3,300 yearly surplus. Our 1 bedroom in Dens, we've got a really great option at under $350,000, which brings you at over $4,000 in annual surplus. And then our 2 bedrooms, 2 bed, 2 bath, you're getting in about $3,200 a month. So I'll send you guys a package. We do have these numbers in a full package that you can send out to your clients as well. So I'll send that over to you so you can send it out to them straight away, but gives you this kind of, assumptions for what they'd be looking at, including their condo fees, property tax, and insurance. And then it's easy to purchase in Calgary. And, some of the big differences between Toronto and Calgary is that we do have affordable prices. You do get the opportunity to take advantage of a 5% deposit. Your properties will cash flow. We have no development charges, no land transfer tax. And as I mentioned earlier, we don't do interim occupancy. We go right to final close. So you don't have those charges as well. And then, of course, you're getting a quality product and built by a developer that you can trust. So how does Calgary compare to Toronto? So kind of wanted to give a apples to apples comparison. So we took our 1 bedroom in Den at $349,900 and compared it to a comparable suite in Toronto, about $650, about an 8-minute transit ride from the core, whereas we're 6 minutes. So you can kind of see here in Toronto with a suite that's very similar, you'd be in the red. You'd be out about $5,000 per year. In Calgary, you'd be up about $5,000 per year. So, kind of looking at where the numbers make sense and where would be an intelligent choice to purchase for rental. And then the exclusive offer. So I'm sure what you guys are all wanting to hear about is what can we offer your clients? What is the incentive? So until September 15th, we can offer the low 5% deposit program plus our 3-year rental program. So how that works is that Greywood will work with a property management company to place the initial tenant in your unit and then cover the management fees for 3 years. So this really makes it a turnkey opportunity. If you've got clients that are looking, they live in Toronto, they don't really want to have to deal with, showing the property and dealing with the tenants. It's all taken care of. So they don't have to worry about a thing. All they have to do is watch for the rent checks to arrive in their bank account. And plus we're also doing no assignment fees. So this is, for a limited time. Typically we charge 2%, but like I said, until September 15th, we will do no assignment fees. And that's it. So if you guys have some questions, I would be happy to answer any of them for you. And then, of course, I'll send through this package and access to our agent portal where you'll find the floor plan, price list. We do have Greywood's Guide to Purchasing in Alberta. So it goes through just how easy it is and how inexpensive it is to purchase in Alberta.
Yeah. So a couple of questions like how does this 5% deposit work? So do we need to pay 5% with the offer or we have some time to pay for 5%?
So how it works is that our deposit structure typically is 10%. So with the 5% deposit program, you do need to apply for a bond. How that works is it's kind of like a mortgage pre-approval. You fill in an application, they look at your equity, your income, and then approve you based on that. So there's a nominal interest charge along with that. But if you get approved, all we require is $5,000 at signing, and then it's topped up to 5% within 10 days. So after your cooling off period.
Okay, 5%. Okay, got it. And you said, okay. So anybody else has any question you could ask, guys? So we are 14 people now.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Kelly, what's the condo fee in this?
We're coming in about 46 cents a square foot.
And the first 3 years of rental guarantees that you're giving, does that cover the any of the condo fee as well, or that's passed along to the end user?
No, so that's totally separate. So actually the condo fees are calculated in those assumptions that I showed earlier. The condo fee typically is paid for by the owner. The 3-year rental program just covers the property manager with the tenant. So just covering making sure that the property is looked after, tenants taken care of, your rent checks are being dealt with.
And what happens if the rent is less than what you are proposing? So do they pay from their pocket like property management, or how it works? Like how does the guarantee work actually?
Yeah, so how it works is it's the rental program. So the rent itself, the owner would negotiate with the property manager. So they go through at the time of closing and go, okay, here is the market rent for this property. They lock the tenant in with that, and then it's the tenant pays it for a year, of course. So just like a typical rental, but the rent isn't guaranteed because we do work with a third party property manager. But like I said, the rental market's very, very strong. The property manager, it's their job to place a tenant for you at market rent, and they only get paid when they place a tenant. So they hustle to get it in.
So it's a guarantee for 3 years, but not amount is not guaranteed.
No, so it's a rental program, so it's not a guarantee. So the program is that we place the tenant and then cover the management fees for 3 years.
Okay. Okay.
And what about the parking? Did we cover the parking? Is that included?
No, that's a great question. So parking is optional. So we've had a lot of people that have bought and didn't want parking. So parking is available for $40,000, and then storage lockers are available for $8,500.
Is it open space or underground or covered?
They are underground. Good question.
Mm-hmm. Parking is at par with price
That's
here.
right. GTA area. That's right. 5,000 difference.
Sorry, how much is
comparable to Toronto.
Here also we have this 45,000 parking. So you are at par with GTA price with parking.
Deal. And here too, it is a titled parking stall. So it's not assigned or leased. They do own it outright.
Okay. Okay. So what about common areas? Like, do you think in future the condo fee will what exactly is cover this condominium fees or this monthly fees?
Yeah, so the condo fee covers most of your utilities. So really the only utility the tenant will cover is electricity. It also covers the amenities. So we've got a beautiful rooftop terrace that we're putting in up on the 11th floor. And then we'll also have a Amazon parcel delivery room available too. So condo fees, like I said, they work out to about 46 cents a square foot, covers most utilities, things like landscaping, snow removal, maintenance and management. That's all taken care of for the owner.
And what would you see the resale price going on the market for the brand new ready to move condos? Like,
sorry?
what is the resale price going on in the current market nearby where the condo is not less than 5-year-old, maybe 1-year-old, 2-year-old? What is the resale price for the condo we are selling?
They come in about $600 a square foot.
Okay.
And that's kind of, 5 years old and newer. But in the Kensington area, there's not a whole lot of inventory that comes up. People tend to stay there long term. Same with rents, or same with, I should say, with rental properties. We don't see a lot of turnover in Kensington. They're very hard to find.
So here also the same thing like Ontario, HST is included in the price and you're taking rebate on for buyer. How it's working for HST or like?
So the GST, so it's a 5% GST, and how it works is that it is added on to the price. So what the owner will need to do at possession is they send in the application for the rebate with a copy of their lease, and then CRA will send the rebate back to them as cash. So the maximum amount on that is $6,300, and the rebate's available for suites that are $450 and under.
No, can you just repeat? Because here, builder already take this rebate, and normally the buyer, if they occupy, they didn't need to pay anything. So, okay, let's assume the buyer is buying for investment purpose. So yeah. How it work? Can you just repeat it again?
Yeah, for sure. So the GST is 5%. So that would be added on to the price.
And there is no provincial tax other than the GST?
No.
Okay.
No. So what's unique about the GST too is that you can finance it. So you can roll it into your mortgage.
Yeah, that I know. So basically this price is net of GST, and whatever GST is on top of that, and you are paying that and you're getting it back.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so you get a portion of it back. So up to $6,300 back is what you get as GST rebate.
It's capped at $6,300 is what Kelly's saying.
Got it. So GST is not included in price. Okay, got it.
That's right. Plus GST.
Okay, fine. What about international buyers? Do we have any different plan for the international buyer, or is the same deposit structure?
So for international buyers, we do require a 20% deposit. So how that's payable, it's $5,000 at signing, topped up to 10% within 10 days. And then the balance of 10% is due within 200 days. So about 6.5 months.
And do you need this mortgage approval letter? And if you need, how it works?
No, so if people are doing the 5%, we do require a mortgage approval letter, and that can be from one of the 5 major banks. It can also be from a mortgage broker too. So we just really need to see a pre-approval. Yes, they're good to get financing on it. If they're doing the full 10%, and if it's 20%, if they're an international buyer, then we don't need a mortgage approval.
Mm-hmm. Guys, any more questions? Okay, now you tell, what do you think, like, you just said some of the Toronto agents have sold this project. What could be the, factor, what do you think what we should pitch to our buyer? Because Calgary, nobody's going to go there. Nobody's going to see the property. So
Sure.
what should be the selling factor for us to our buyers?
I think the big selling point for you guys is that these properties cash flow and they have really low initial output. So one of the big things that a lot of the agents have been attracted to is that there's no development charges, no land transfer tax, low closing costs. That's been huge. The 5% deposit has also been huge. And then kind of as a second, it's been that these properties cash flow, right? So you can get in with 5% down. That's it until possession. You have no further payments. We don't have interim occupancy, go straight to final closing. So you're not coming up with, the $20,000, $30,000 extra to put down like what you do in the GTA. So that's been a huge thing for people. And then price point, right? We've got suites that are under 300,000. They cash flow positive. That's been getting us a lot of attention. Plus our 2 bedrooms, most of them are priced under 450,000. So they're really gravitating to that as well. And then secondly is the location. It's inner city, right? You've got a big pool of potential tenants that you can pull from. It's also one of the hottest communities in Calgary. So if you're looking at a resale point of view as well, we're typically seeing we're projecting about 1 to 2% appreciation per year. So you do have the opportunity there to watch your investment grow, depending on whether they're wanting to hold on to it for more than 3 years, right? If they hold on to it longer term, you do have the potential to see some really good growth in the value of the suite.
Okay. I think Kelly, you already covered it. When is the closing for this?
We're targeting Q4 of 22. So about 2 years out.
So how you pay the commission? Do you pay something on 5%?
Yes, we do. That's a great question. So it's 4% commission, plus we also have some bonuses available as well. So I'll send you information on that. So the more you sell, the more bonus that you get.
When you pay, how much you pay on 5%?
So we do pay half of it with the 5%, so within 60 days, and then the balance when it closes. So you kind of get half of it right up front, the other half when it closes.
Basically, client pays 5%, we get half of the commission, like 2%.
Exactly.
This is again good selling factor then.
Selling feature for you guys, right?
Yeah, because it's very difficult to wait for 3 years. At least if you get some of the money, it's always good to have.
Oh, totally. Well, you guys want to get paid fast, right, for all your hard work. So yeah, within 60 days, you'll be getting a check.
Okay. Yeah, another question. Since we are licensed to work in Ontario, so do we really need some different, authorization to work for Calgary projects? Since this project in Calgary, so we have not license for Calgary. So how it work for Ontario license?
We've really had no issues with it. Our head office is based out of Toronto, so that's where the commission checks are all issued out of. We've had no issues with Toronto agents selling in Calgary.
Okay, that's better.
Yeah. That works well.
So about inventory, the problem we face here is, we start working on certain project and later on we see the inventory not is sold. So can we, if you give you some commitment, can you allocate us some units for the timing and, we focus to sell those units within our team and so that we are sure that we are going to get this much of inventory. So can that be done? Actually, we have done in some of the
for sure. Why don't you and I chat about that and we can figure out which ones you guys want and we can put them on hold for you and then give you a certain amount of time to sell them for sure.
Yeah, because it takes a lot of effort and marketing, a lot of money we spend when we start marketing and later on we find out, oh no, inventory is not there and whatever. So we have seen this in a couple of cases. That's what, and when we start working, of course, as you said, some people have already sold, so we should be able to sell also. That should not be a problem.
Yep, no, that's no problem. So let's chat about what you guys would like, and then I can allocate you guys some suites.
Yeah. So guys, actually they had this special incentive plan till 31st August. So on our request, they have extended for us till 15th September. We might need maybe 2-3 more days. At least we need 2 weeks. Now we are on 3rd, so it will take some time to kickstart.
For sure.
So, Nick, you have any question? So Nick in our team, he is also very good in pre-construction. He does a lot of pre-construction.
So I only have that one question. Like when we send in the worksheet, will it be like under our name only? Since we are Ontario agents, legally we can't sell in your province, right? How
No.
that works?
So how we've done it with other agents is that it goes under the broker of record, and I'm not sure how it works for you guys there, but yeah, no, we've had no issues with people selling here on the worksheet, depending on how you guys want to do it. You can put your name, you can put the broker of record name. We've kind of had it both ways.
Okay, so normally the money is paid to brokerage and we fill our internal TRS. So next, Nick, how it will be like our brokerage will invoice them, and anyway their office is in Toronto, so our brokerage will invoice them, and then when money comes to our brokerage, then eventually we are filling our internal TRS and then we distribute like that. Okay, looks good. So anybody else, any other question? And we are okay. So we are almost closing 30 minutes. So that's what I promised to my team. So it will be 30 minutes.
I know. I appreciate you guys staying up so late. This is fantastic.
Yeah. So hopefully, if everything goes well, we'll try to have a session on when you're comfortable, Saturday or Sunday. So when can we do?
So I'm out of town this weekend, but I can set you up with my associate Andrea, who's got all the information. So I think she's got a couple of appointments on Saturday, but we can definitely book her on Sunday.
Sunday. So for us, I think afternoon time should work around 1:30. So I'll tell you the exact time. And so
Sure.
your time would be 11. So should be good. And so we'll have a similar Zoom meeting. And instead of other than our people, there would be a lot of, not a lot of, at least maybe we'll try for 20 people, investors, so that
Fantastic.
they understand it. And if they like it, then we can sign up. And everything worked, I think, done on DocuSign. So that should not be a problem.
Yeah, so we use Investo, so everything can be done digitally. We also do direct deposit for the deposit. So we can send you our lawyer's trust account. They just have to go to the bank and direct deposit the $5,000.
So it will be true electronic transaction then. We are not meeting in person. We have not seen the site, and we'll try to sell, and let's see how it works.
Yeah, and we've also got a Matterport too, so you can take a wander through our presentation center, and I can send you all that information. And yeah, we can take it from there. But I'll shoot you over this presentation, Ritesh, so you guys have it. And then I'll CC my colleague Andrea, and we can set up a time for you guys to Zoom with her on Sunday.
Okay, guys. Anybody has any more questions? Or you're sleepy?
No, I think we're good. We're good.
Okay, all good. Thank you very much for joining, Kelly.
No, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much, and have a great night. And we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you. Bye bye. Take care. Good night, all.
Bye.